So Mitchell Vahalik says, would simplifying the offense and defense equate to more consistent success?
You know what? I don't know what the answer is on terms of like simplifying the defense, because I think it's fair to say that when you watch some of the guys, like when they're playing like the linebackers playing run, that it looks like they're thinking too much, because you're like, they're not playing fast. Right. So I think it's fair to say that. So you're like, oh, make it more simple. And then, like it's something I wrote about and we talked about, after the game and the post game show. And then I wrote about this week too, with the third down, they do far less in terms of what they're doing in terms of pressures and simulating pressures and all these kind of things. They like make it very simple for opposing quarterbacks and protections to have to worry about. So like, I think when you do that kind of stuff too, and maybe it's just me, because I don't think that stuff is hard. You know what I mean? Because I think it's defined, right? That stuff, especially, it's defined. It's like, all right, you're going to like line up in the A gap, but you're dropping the hook curl or whatever, right? Like that's all defined there for you. So I think almost that stuff makes it kind of easier, rather than, because I don't think these guys have been good at like reading and just recognizing things and doing stuff. So if you make it more defined for them, perhaps they play faster. So maybe that makes it, is that simplifying? I don't know if it is, because it's technically adding more scheme, I guess. Mm-hmm. But like, they're not, if you're just saying like, hey, just play base and just play free, I mean, it's not working. Like it's not, that part's not working. So, and then on offense, I don't know. I don't think they're asking too much of the offense, and I know like everybody wants to jump on, the scan offense and whatever, the check with me's and stuff like that. I mean, it worked pretty good the previous 2 weeks. If the quarterback does his job, everybody's talking about, man, what a great game again, right? Like, I think that's got a lot to it. Like you said, I didn't see a lot of confusion from the rest of the guys. Everybody seemed to be doing their job. There wasn't a lot of like guys pointing fingers like, hey, weren't you supposed to do this or that? Like there wasn't like the one earlier in the season where Tobias, was supposed to go in motion. He didn't. I haven't seen a lot of that at all. So
right.
I don't know. I don't think the answer is make it more simple on offense.
Do you know what the origin of the phrase scan offense comes from? Do you know what that origin is?
I don't know. I just know that
Where did that come from?
I think that
Notre Dame's done check with me's forever. Like I don't understand. Like
I don't know.
Did someone say it? Like did Jason
somebody
Garrett
said it? I think
broadcast?
Jason Garrett might have said it in the broadcast, and then it becomes a thing, and then all of a sudden it's like the beat starts being like, well, the scan offense, like, or just in the fans or whatever. Because I've never heard it called the scan offense from anyone. It's always been, because that's the thing. That's why it's for as long as there's been no huddle in college football, and I mean probably in football in general, there's always been check with me, because they go up to the line and they sometimes they don't even have a call. They just go up to the line and then they get the call based on
Everett Golson did this.
Everett Golson. I mean, it's been
Kaiser did it. Like
it's been like over 10 years. It's been over 10 years that this has been a thing. So I don't
know the scan offense stuff. Like I don't know where it came from. And if you know, please put it in the comments.
It's just they're doing more of it now. And I actually think, because I mean, that was one of my complaints with Chip Long, is I think he was more worried about tempo and just kind of getting stuff. And then they would get caught in plays all the time. And I'm like, oh my God, like
you need to get out of it.
They need to get out of it. And they were bad, and then drives would die, right, because of it. So like I'm totally fine with the check with me stuff. And I'm even fine with them playing at a slow pace. That's fine to me, but you gotta execute, or else then, I mean, you got to execute no matter what offense you're running, or that's going to work. Because you can play as fast as you want. People are like, all right, we're going to sprint up to the line and we're going to do this. It's like, well, if you don't block the 3 technique and you're running an inside zone and you run up to the line and run an inside zone, guess what? It's not going to work, right? Doesn't matter how fast you go. So it's really just. I mean, I think it's just people just arguing over nothing over it. I'm not a big fan of the term scan offense.
And I said it before. Notre Dame. So look at the final drive, right? Michael Mayer has to come out on the 4th and 8 play because he's exhausted. You can't. When your best player is the tight end, you cannot go fast. He's a big guy. He can't just be running up and down all the time. If you need him on 3rd down, you can't be going super fast because you need his legs. It's just a fact of it, right? If you're going to be a big team, you're going to be a power team. You can't be going fast, especially when your best player is a tight end.